Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Deciphering My Experience. I'm Eric Hecker, and I just wanted to talk to you guys while you're all hunkered down, because it dawned on me that most of you did not spend a year at the South Pole Station or winter over at the South Pole and are not familiar with these hunkering down and isolation situations. So I just wanted to maybe help you folks out and give you some of my insights. We had in the programs what they called coping strategies. And we were trained about this because they knew that we were going to be isolated, but now you guys are finding yourself in a circumstance that you're probably wholly unprepared for. So here's a coping strategy for boredom that I came across, and it's kind of the name game. I put together some stuff on the whiteboard here for everybody to take a look at as usual, and I have some links that I'm going to be putting underneath in the description. And the first one is going to be a link for the actual CIA.gov Freedom of Information Act request cell. So basically you could jump into that cell, punch in anything that you want, and it'll look through their released, declassified archives, and it'll let you know if you got a hit, and you can take a look, and it's a lot of fun. The rough part about it is the CIA, although they released the documents, they did not format them in a way that's very searchable. So you have to kind of dig through it manually, which can be done. But I'm going to be putting up an additional link for an outfit. Some folks, they call themselves the Black Vault, if I remember correctly. And they were so kind as to take these declassified documents and put them in a searchable format. So check out that link as well. And you can also find on the Black Vault site that there are missing pages that they were able to get a hold of that weren't in the original CIA dump. So there's additional information in the Black Vault links, and I just put them both up so that you can see that the Black Vault is actually accurate in their information. It's just that they've sorted it and actually added to it. So it's good to have that. Well, the pertinence would be that all of these people, believe it or not, were following the sciences of previous German programs were rather nefarious. And then when they came over here, the paperwork trail shows very clearly what they were working on. Started out as human experiments. It then went from human experimentation, which we have the names of the board members that were on the panel overseeing the experiments and the personnel that were doing the experimenting. But it went from human experimentation to the idea of remote viewing, I guess you would say, in a way of experimenting. And they went from the idea of using anomalous mental phenomenon, remote viewing, to the idea of going the other direction. And it got into more of controlling. And then the controlling aspect, they started to learn about energies. And then when they started to learn about energies, then they started to learn about time and time travel. So these are the experiments and things that everybody in these programs and all these people that are interconnected were working on. So if you are interested in the history of human experimentation, the study of mind control, how it turned into free energy, and then how eventually it became time travel, and then alien technologies were involved as well. These are the things that you could take a look at on this site. You'd be amazed at what they have available nowadays, and it's stuff that 20 years ago you couldn't discuss. I do have some topics. If you want to take a peek at some other things, I would suggest that you also try taking a look on this site. Look up Brookhaven National Labs. Look up Los Alamos National Labs. Try checking neighborhoods that you're familiar with that you could look into. Anything that popped in your head that seemed kind of odd. Keywords, just think of keywords. Another area for me that I think of on Long Island that I find wildly interesting is a town called Roslyn, which is also in the paperwork with a very rich history. There's also a town called New Rochelle, which also has a very rich history with the Operation Paperclip program and shuttling the Paperclip participants in between the New Rochelle train station and all the way out to Camp Siegfried, which was out in Camp Upton, which was just due north of Brookhaven National Labs property and right over by Tesla at the Wardenclyffe facility. So Long Island has a rich history of things that could be searched if you happen to be a Long Islander and interested in these topics.